Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. Jumping back into the two-parter of Back from the Future. Now we're on part two. Part one, we had Winn returning from the future after Lex pretty much tried to screw up his life using his own doppelganger, an alternate universe version of Winn, who actually managed to become Toyman. Was left in our universe. And he was still doing his own stuff and still being Toyman. So him being Winn's doppelganger was screwing up his future. So then in the future, in Winn's future, in the 53rd century, I think it is, it 53rd? I think it's 53rd. His life was being screwed up, and the time police came and took him in and stuff. So he had to come back into the past to stop whoever was ruining his life from ruining his life. So yeah, he came back, and that was a nice kind of return, a nice reprisal of his character overall. But he came back, he had like a new suit, he had his own kind of Legion ship or pod that he came back in, and he had his own suit and a mask and like a Legion ring that like Nor helped him fashion into like dreamer powers and dream energy and stuff. So that was cool. So he got along with Nia fairly well. But he came back, and he had a wife and a daughter. He had Isla and Mary. Isla and Mary. Mary named after his mother. He had Isla and Mary that was wife and daughter. So he had a family. He had a life of his own as a Legion member in the future, which was really, really cool to see. So we had that. And in coming back from the future, Lex then had access, because the evil Brainy, the non-trustworthy Brainy, told him where the Legion ship was being kept. He then had access to the Legion ship, and he took the memory cube from that, because that was where the QAs were. So the problem with this new post-crisis universe for Lena was that Q waves weren't as readily available as they were pre-crisis, so she had no way of actually properly continuing with her Nona Cherry work. So then, in bringing technology from the future back into the present, or into the past technically, he brought her a new form of Q waves ready for her to access for her work. So he helped her out. He helped her out at the cost of ruining someone else's life. Which, if anything, that's just a Lex Luthor plan. That's just a Lex Luthor plan. So yeah, so their partnership is going somewhat well so far, but we'll see. We'll see when he slips up and he betrays her. We'll see exactly when he betrays her. I'm pretty sure he's like a few episodes and maybe like one or two bad situations away from betraying her. We'll see. We'll see. But we had that, so she has Q waves now. We had Kara and William kind of embarking on somewhat of a new partnership. They were William is adamant on exposing Lex as the bad guy that he is, extortion, murder, bribery, all that kind of stuff that he just does as a criminal mastermind and stuff. So his in this post-crisis universe, his friend Russell actually died after having refused to sell his company to Lex instead of Andrea. Like, it wasn't after meeting Andrea. I don't know if if there's actually still any kind of connection between Andrea and Russell in this universe, but this time he died because he refused. Again, I don't know if Leviathan is still involved in that. I don't know if they managed to pick up his body, or if they're still going to go the rip raw way with this, or if he genuinely did just die, and after Lex just decided to off him because someone said no to him. But in this universe, that is how stuff went down, and William is convinced that Lex had something to do with it. So he's also adamant on exposing him for that. And Lex threatened his life to Kara, so Kara is now worried about him. So she proposed a partnership where they work together to expose Lex and stuff like that. So that's interesting. So we'll see how that kind of stuff goes. We did have some kind of prolonged eye contact and silence that had it had some subtext, but I'm not really going to put too much faith into it. Just see where they take stuff. That can't really hurt anyone, right? Just seeing where they take stuff. I want to say it can't hurt anyone, and I just did, but it's the writers, so you never know. So we'll see. We'll see where that stuff takes us. But that is pretty much all I have. Brainy told Winn that he was the one who told Lex, and he was the one who helped Lex and made him, come back into the future. and all of that stuff, and he's following the alternate universe Quirrell-Dox's advice of allying with Lex, but also cutting off all other connections and stuff to help beat Leviathan. And we've seen Gamemne. Gamemne has, come into contact with Andrea, where we're working with her obsidian stuff. So we've seen Gamemne, but not Ramakant. So I don't know if we've seen all there is to see of Ramakant, or if he's going to pop up later on, or what's going to happen with that. But now I guess it's Gamemne's time to shine. So we'll see what more of her there is to see. But yeah, it's pretty much all I have from the last one. So episode 12, Back from the Future, part 2. Let's go.
Are you kidding?
He has a superhero name?
Before every Legion member puts on his vestments, he must have a call sign.
He has a superhero name?
Huh.
Was it
it's a hop, skip, and a jump from Cat Grant's IT guy.
Computer Guy is his name.
Computer Lad, your name. Chemical King has power over chemicals. Lightning Lass controls electricity. One day my brother-in-law decides to call me Computer Lad, and it kind of stuck.
Computer Lad. And what was the other one? Something Lad? I don't know. He went too fast. Computer Lad.
Clearly, you've never heard my rendition of Africa by Toto.
Oh, Jesus. I kind of want to hear that.
For a long time.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear that.
We're going to do it together?
A duet? Oh, that's amazing. This is just pure Melissa. I refuse to believe this is anything but Melissa. Okay, yeah, not gonna lie, they're pretty good at duets.
And plus, Granny's got my back.
I love how you can still hear them in the background.
She's been spying on me. She hasn't interfered with our work, but if she does, it might require more permanent actions.
No, you are not touching Alex Danvers. You touch her, you die. I will make sure of that.
Would you like to go out sometime? Just us.
Like a date?
A date. What do you think?
They're moving into dating that quickly?
Kara, your grandmother's house. Your old grand's house.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, she's just been feeling under the weather. I should really go. So sorry.
Deary old grandmother's house. Yeah, you remember how your grandma was a DEO agent? Or at least her husband was? Your old mother, technically, adoptive mother, yeah.
I used to listen to this song in the shop when I was a kid.
Oh, is this the Toyman AI?
Wait, so you're saying...
This is
Toyman's back.
This is Toyman, the AI that we saw at the end of the last episode. Oh, damn it.
Lower the DEO's firewall to the World Wide Web, or I will use all of your toys to kill you.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna do that anyway. I'm like 90% sure you're gonna do that anyway. Oh, damn. Oh, whoa. Oh, nice blockage. Nice. Yep, using a monitor.
Did you hear that?
Is that an old-fashioned telephone?
The hell kind of phone is that? Did they even have that kind of phone? They have that kind of phone.
Okay.
Really? The DEO has a thingy phone?
Danvers, access Toyman's code and copy it. Once you are done, you'll have gotten us one step closer to saving the world.
That's all he cares about, just staying one level above everyone else. Yeah, Leviathan is the other people in that position right now, and he can't have that, can he?
Hoping Lex is what I have to do for the sake of the future. You know that.
Yeah, but to what extent?
I have everything under control.
How many people have to pay the price for that help?
I am trusting you.
Just because Lena reacted the way that she did does not mean that other people will.
Maybe so.
And fix things with Lena at least before you jump onto someone else.
You are on
Everyone
What?
keep working. I'll check it out.
Famous last words. Checking out the super strange noise. Oh crap! Oh, a toy monkey. Flying toy monkeys? Ah, Jesus. He's just refusing to trust them at all. Oh crap! Oh, thunderclap!
Why be at each other's throats when we could be joined at the hip?
So he's gonna jump into leagues with
Might like it.
with
I can be
Leviathan
an excellent friend,
and then
when I want
backstab
to
them.
be. And I
That's
do
how this is
want
gonna
to be
go.
your friend.
Whose history was that? Is it Brainy's? Must be. Yeah, oh, this must be the code he has to get, yeah.
Ever since those other brainies got you to take off your inhibitors, you have been acting different. And it's not some personality different.
Exactly.
It's like you're hiding something.
Then I don't need to remind you of all the other relationships you've abandoned to get this where it needs to be. The
Russell
losers can help us.
Is one of those Russell? Lena Luthor. She's gonna go ahead with the business deal.
I have to go inside it.
Like AI? AI-ly?
Legion ship. It allows me to enter the digital space temporarily.
Oh.
Go inside it. Can't
Damn.
you run into
My dad, or Toyman, or both. Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna be an easy journey.
They have exosuits?
The Toyman AI is inside of them. Get out now.
Alexu. Oh, damn duck. Oh, geez, yeah. Oh, two of them. Two Lexosuits. Oh, oh, jeez. Oh, God, that's some Jarvis stuff from Iron Man 3. Oh, that theme. Alright, he's in the system. He's in the system. Oh, God, come on, Winn. Oh, damn it, yep, he's gonna try and take you on.
You're it. That's because you're a psycho!
What are you? Oh, nice. Oh, come on. Fight yourself, Winn. Come on. You're a Legion member. Come on. Oh, damn. Battle of the Winslows. Battle of the Winslows. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, do not drop him. Don't drop him. He can still fly in AI mode, right? He can still hover and shit. You can, right? Yeah, you can still fly. Yeah, you still got this. Leroy Jenkins, yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah, backflips for the win. Yeah. Yeah. Just gymnastics for the win. Is he? He's actually. He's helping him. He's actually. Okay, he's actually helping him then. Okay. Oh, and the monkeys are back more than ever. Oh, damn. Oh, God. Come on. Bullets and heat vision. Bullets and heat vision. Come on.
Game over.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Supergirl is trying to escape.
Oh, crap.
Not today.
Tear it to shreds. There we go.
So I'm quitting the DEO.
What?
Really? Lex is everywhere in there. And I can't keep showing up and smiling at him, and even if it's just pretend.
Plus, now you can come and work with me. National City may need the tower, but the tower needs leaders.
She can run the tower. She can run the tower. Okay, that's
Fun
amazing.
and logical. Ready to go home. Being here with you guys has, I mean, it's helped me get over my dad and, you know, his crimes, just my past, all of it. So.
Oh, so proud of him. He's come so far. He's come so damn far.
Are you kidding me? No, I hated that. Computer, lad.
Oh, no.
What?
It is a pretty terrible call sign.
You know, that name has always haunted me. But now, after
You can reclaim
I
it.
faced my father,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna reclaim that name
Mm-hmm.
and make it stand for good.
Yeah, that's my
Like
boy.
the doctor said, the future is whatever you want. She'll make it a good one.
Nice, Doc Brown.
Like it.
Oh, I'm gonna miss him. I'm really gonna miss him.
I'm sorry, William. I just don't feel that way about you.
I understand. I'm sorry for misreading the situation.
No, it's fine. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about this. Don't feel bad about saying no. Please do not send that kind of message. Don't feel bad about saying no.
Congratulations. To you, DEO Director Docs.
He's the director now? Well, I guess that somewhat makes sense.
So, if I had done things differently, maybe things would have turned out differently.
There's no way of knowing.
I mean, if you'd been honest with Lena up front, then things could have been different / better.
Some say there's no way of knowing, but I say first, ask Mr. Mixes-Spitalik.
Mixie's back! Mixes-Spitalik's back! Isn't he the dude from season 1 or 2? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the one from, like, season 2. Like, when Monel was around, he tried to propose to Kara, and then he dressed her up in a wedding dress and took her to the fortress and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think he looks different. I think it's probably like a different actor now. But yeah, Mixes-Spitalik. I remember he had like the weird ass name. Like, I remember watching the episode for the first time. I think it was in the title. I think his name. But then it was a good thing I didn't start reacting until like season 3 to this show, because had I started reacting from the beginning and got to that, I would not be able to pronounce that episode. I'd just be like, just not getting anywhere near the actual pronunciation, and then hearing him say the name, Mixes-Spitalik. Okay, it somewhat makes sense, but now he's back. He's back now, so next episode we'll probably be seeing more of him. But yeah, interesting part 2, interesting end to the kind of duology of this return to Supergirl post Crisis. Yeah, so we had Winn's original kind of call sign was Computer Lad. And he mentioned 2 others. He mentioned Chemical Guy and he mentioned Thunderlass too. So, you know, I mean, arguably those ones sound Thunderlass sounds coolish. It sounds cool. Chemical Guy sounds coolish. Computer Lad just sounds like, if it sounds more like if you mess up somehow, and then you get that kind of a nickname for the rest of your occupational kind of life. Computer Lad sounds more similar to that, but you know, he was the IT guy for Cat Grant, and then he ups himself to Computer Lad for the Legion. But I mean, I thought he'd actually have like an actual name, like, you know, like Nura in the future is still Dreamer, Monel is Valor. I have no idea what Imra is. You know, Quirl is Brainiac 5 or Brainy for short. So, I don't know, I figured he'd have it's his call sign, so maybe it's his actual name within the Legion, but maybe, like, you know, since the Legion is the Legion of Superheroes, it's a fairly public superhero team, you know, when the public calls them, I doubt they just shout out, Thunderlass, Chemical Guy, Computer Lad, they actually have names. So now, he's gonna go with Toyman. He's actually going to, I mean, he said it's the name he's going to go with, but I don't know if his name if his call sign within the Legion is still going to be Computer Lad, or if he's just going to go Toyman for the Legion and for the public. But he's gonna reclaim Toyman. He's gonna reclaim Toyman. So I feel proud of him that he's come that far. That not only has he in this episode been able to actually move past the sins of the father that he's carried with him throughout his life, and he's kind of had hanging over him like a cloud. He's also going to use that name for good. He's going to use that name for better and for good and for more than his father ever did. And he's going to be the Toyman that the world needs instead of the Toyman that the world has been haunted by all this time, and especially the one that his world has been haunted by. So I'm proud that he's actually come that far to be able to reclaim it. And I think the entire time I was kind of on the fence about whether or not he could trust his father within the AI, or if his father was just going to, you know, like, just backstab him and work with, I mean, you know, because I reckon that, you know, once he met Toyman 2 in the AI, he'd just be like, you know, oh, this is a version of my son that actually followed me into this life, and, you know, it could be a family business or something. But no, he looked at Toyman 2 as an actual psychopath, and, you know, like, it's clear that, you know, from that stance, he never wanted this life for Winn. Those crimes were his own crimes. He wanted Winn to be safe and happy, but, you know, I think, you know, deep down, he never really wanted that life for Winn, knowing the repercussions that came with it, and knowing exactly what kind of pain him being Toyman caused Winn alone. He would never want, you know, the further road of pain for Winn at all. So he was willing to help take out he was willing to take out Toyman 2 in order to help Winn save the day and stuff, even if it meant that the very last piece of him that was left would be eradicated from cyberspace. So he really had changed. He changed somewhat. He hadn't changed. He was still the same Toyman, but he did care more about Winn being Winn and being a good man than he did about, you know, carrying on the Toyman legacy and all that crap. So that was fun to see. So he is going to be Toyman now, so that's cool. And the Battle of the Wind Flows, as I dubbed it, that was really, really cool to see them just fighting, like, the same shots and the same moves and everything. That was cool. So he could fly in the AI. But he did return to the future afterwards. So, I mean, I figured that was pretty much on the cards. Like, he didn't come back just for like a friendly old visit. The friendly visit and the reunion was a nice, neat little bonus. But the main reason for him returning was because his future was messed up after his doppelganger did the messing up by committing crimes using his face. So he came back to save his life and his future. So eventually he had to return to said future. He still had a family, he had a wife and kids, so he had to go back eventually. But, you know, I think it's a time ship. He could stay in the future for like 3 years and then, or something, and then just go back to when he left. Or I don't know, maybe it doesn't work exactly that way. It's not a TARDIS. You know, he can't really just come and go as he pleases. Maybe he actually did have to go back, and he did have stuff in the future that needed taken care of. So yes, I think as soon as he said in the beginning, like, oh, and as soon as the Legion ship powers back up to full power and everything, he's gonna go back. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be our last episode with him. But it was fun. It was really super cool to see Jeremy Jordan back as Winn. Just the OG super crew back together again, minus James. I mean, I think had they brought him back last season, it could have been a reunion with James there as well. But no, it's just with these guys. But yeah, so he returned to the future. Lex is screwing up. I think he's showing off more and more of his manipulation. He's making Brainy do more and more stuff that Brainy knows is wrong, but Brainy is doing it because of his belief that, you know, it's for the best of the future and it's for the best of the world. Like, he has to defeat Leviathan, and the AU version of Quell Doc said that, you know, she worked with Lex alone and with no other connections, and that's how she helped, and that's how she defeated Leviathan. So this Brainy has to do the same thing. And with this Brainy, I think you know, unarguably, I think, you know, alternate universe Brainies will have different experiences with different people and with the way their world works. So maybe for her it was easier because her Lex was maybe similar to our Lex, but still somewhat more maniacal and, you know, crazy and evil and all that sort of stuff, but maybe somewhat easier to work with. But with this one, we know, you know, as time goes on, he becomes more and more manipulative. His end game is always, he said it himself, his end game is always staying one level ahead. Right now, Leviathan are the ones who are, you know, the kings of their playing field. So right now, he needs to be at that level, and that's always his end goal, like always staying one step ahead of the curve, one level above everyone else, making sure the playing field is level. You know, for mostly for him, but sure, for appearance's sake for everyone else, but mostly for him. So that is his end goal, and him allying with Leviathan like that, like not only, you know, pushing forward the business deal with Andrea and Lena, but also allying himself with Leviathan. I think it's going to be like, you know, him saying, you know, like, we both want the same thing, to live forever and to, you know, use this power to push ourselves forward in the world. You know, I think he's going to, you know, make those kinds of steps to join Leviathan, but then as soon as he gets what he wants, he's going to stab them in the back, because, again, he doesn't want to be equal with them. He wants to be better than them. That is always his end game. So, you know, as time, and like we saw in this episode alone, he was becoming more and more manipulative with Brainy, being like, you know, sure, I mean, I did theorize that the whole Toyman stuff would go down to hell shit all over again, but, you know, that's just how my mind works. And now you have a new job of actually getting me the code that, you know, that Toyman 2 used to turn himself into AIs, and then just get that to me. So he's just pulling out more and more favors in the name of stopping Leviathan and saving the world. Just knowing that's exactly what Brainy's plan is, and knowing that's what Brainy wants, to be able to defeat Leviathan, but knowing that this is the only way to do it. He's manipulating that to its rawest kind of, you know, source, pretty much. So yeah, as time goes on, we're just going to see him continuing to manipulate and backstab and just, you know, staying ahead of the curve. But he is giving Lena what she wants, and it's just another reason to be able to backstab her. He even bypassed her security system to manage to video call her on her monitor and her phone and everything. So he's got his ways of keeping tabs on her. So when the opportunity arises to backstab her, he will most likely take it. But we'll see exactly how badly that stuff goes down. We had stuff with William and Kara. So William asked Kara out in the beginning, just after the karaoke thing. I will admit, right, seeing them duetting Africa by Toto was fun. It was fun. And more than anything, it just seemed like a friendly thing, a fun, friendly thing to watch two friends, hanging out, singing together, having a good time. And William misread those. I mean, I think it says more than anything, it says that William is interested in Kara. There's no tell sign there that she's interested in him. She's never even. They started out resenting each other, right? They started out resenting each other, which was covered by William's, William's reveal of having a secret investigation going on Andrea and being like, I had to be the arsehole of the office so that no one would get close to me and I wouldn't risk any losses or personal connections like that. So they started off with that way, but then they teamed up to discover the truth and they rescued Rip Pro, who later died, unfortunately, and stuff like that. So now with this one, it seems like in this new universe, they have no prior hatred of each other. They have nothing like that. They started off as work colleagues and then started hanging out in their personal lives and stuff. But besides from that, even in this post-crisis universe, we've had no indication from Kara that she actually likes him. She never talked about him in that way to other people. And right now, it's not even a matter of She hasn't even confirmed that she likes him. She's just literally said her worry is actually having a relationship based on starting off with a lie, like not telling him who she is, and her still struggling to even resurrect that friendship with Lena, still struggling to get anywhere with her, and now she has to worry about having to say yes or no to William. And for the record, right, I think that ending alone just felt really awkward because it felt like William took the rejection. I mean, rejection is hard to take; anyone can accept that. But it took it felt like William took that rejection harder than necessary. He said, okay, maybe I misread the signals, and as soon as she walked away, he looked like a puppy that was left out in the rain. And Kara walked away, just feeling awkward and just like I think. I hate to say it, but it looked like she felt bad, which is even worse. Because again, she shouldn't have felt bad in any way for saying no. It was her completely in her right to say yes or no. She had an equal right to say no just as much as she had an equal right to say yes. So that's the wrong kind of message to send, that you should feel bad for saying no to someone. But yeah, I think it's just the fact that there's no foundation for this. I mean, they have a friendship going, sure, but they've barely been from what we've seen from this timeline. They've barely been even friends for long enough, let alone jumping into a relationship. And it's like, again, it just shows that William is more interested in Kara than Kara is in him. And right now, Kara is worried more than anything about how badly she screwed up with Lena. She just doesn't want to imagine that happening with anyone else. So it just makes it all the more harder for her to actually think about going into a relationship when her one and only closest friendship is screwed up and screwed to the pooch right now. So yeah, so I'd say it's a good thing that they actually just kind of decline, as badly executed as the ending was. It's a good thing that they actually declined that kind of progression with William and Kara, because fix things with Lena first before you jump into anything else. Even if you're not going to go into a relationship with Kara and Lena, fix the friendship there first before you have her jumping into someone else, especially if her main worry is actually jumping into something new based on a lie and not telling them who she is. Because I think that's the thing with her, she has to worry about, who she is and, who she tells and, who she's connected to in that sense, before she actually starts anything new. So yeah, it's not an easy thing, but yeah, I think more than anything, the writers need to focus. I think they started off this season with Lena knowing, but then holding a great deal of resentment to Kara because she was kept in the dark for so long, and then now post-crisis, it's like, well, that's still a problem, but here, have another relationship offer in the meantime. Whilst we figure out what the fuck to do, have another relationship offer. Like, no, sort out the friendship first, and then, and if you do anything, then go from there. Just make sure. I mean, they started off with this season with the kind of drama of that dynamic, and now it's almost as if they're sidelining it so that they can introduce something else whilst figuring out how to go forward with that. But I think it's just more about Kara and Lena actually being given the opportunity to talk things out and to actually sort things out between each other, and that they actually do it right. So I think it feels more like they don't know how to move forward with it, and so they're kind of postponing it in return for something else. They still want to do a relationship of some sort, but it's just that they need to sort things out with Kara and Lena first, and they just don't know how to do that, or they don't have the time. I don't know, but yeah, just jumping into a relationship with William, in my opinion, is the wrong step to take right now. Like, not that not that it's like at this point in time it feels wrong, and it feels like like a step in the wrong direction. I think, and again, we haven't seen them as friends for long enough. Like, that kind of foundation is important for a relationship. So it feels wrong. Like, especially with one friendship being just barely balanced on a plank of wood, and then another one just being like not even carved out of a freshly grown tree, just like a twig, pretty much. It's just not the right step to take. So yeah, but yeah, that ending just kind of made me feel wrong. Like she looked like she felt bad or felt guilty or something for saying no, which she shouldn't have. So hopefully they move forward in a more like respectful way. But I think going forward now we have Mr. Spitalik returning from wherever you go. I think John mentioned sometime that he was like a fifth dimensional being or like a 12th dimensional being or something. Like he's some kind of multi-dimensional being. But yeah, it's a different actor this time. I know that much. It's a different actor. But still Mr. Spitalik, so we'll see exactly what kind of trick he's got up his sleeve in the next episode. But yeah, I think mainly it was just good to see Winn actually, getting some kind of resolution out of all of this. He's actually he said it himself, he's finally able to move away and move beyond this kind of stuff and move on with his own life without worrying about some cloud of crime and sins hanging over him and being haunted by that kind of past. And even his friends helped him do that, like fighting alongside his friends again, being with them again. And knowing that his friends always have his back as well is what got him through that. And he's got friends in the future that he's returning to. He's returning to Mon-El and Imra and Noura and Chemical Guy and Thunderlass, whoever the hell they are. So it was good to see him reaching that kind of personal resolution finally. So yeah, I'm hoping we'll see him again in the future. And again, just hoping the Legion returns. I think it would be cool to get an episode where the Legion returns, so we get to see Mon-El and Imra again. But also we get to see Noura. We get to see Noura from the future. We can get a meeting between her and Nia, like Noura meeting her ancestor and Nia meeting her descendant, and we can see who Chemical Guy and Thunderlass are. But yeah, it was just a really great resolution for him. And sad to see him go, but fun to see him actually having returned at all, pretty much. But yeah, and Leviathan stuff is still going on, still progressing, and I think the way they're going forward with it now is that like Lex and Leviathan are going to have their own kind of standoff at some point, and it's going to be interesting to see how they progress. Like, knowing Lex's true motives and his typical intentions, it's going to be interesting to see how they progress. Like him just kind of like wanting everything they have, but then at the same time wanting them out of the game too. And like Leviathan themselves said, Lex had like some of the right ideas that they had, but they just couldn't pull the strings on him accurately enough. So he was out of their control. And with Leviathan, he's got everything. They've got everything he wants, like the kind of power, the immortality, that kind of hierarchy, pretty much. So it's going to be interesting to see how they actually go forward with it. And even Gamemni reporting back to the Granny of Doom, saying that we've got the Luthors exactly where we want them. So again, now they have the strings on Lex that they want to pull, and they've got Lena in their grips as well, and Andrea with Obsidian. So yeah, I feel like Leviathan is going to be upping their game very soon. They're going to be upping their game, so we'll see exactly how that goes. And the DEO has a rotary dial phone. I wrote that down because as soon as I heard that bell, I was like, that's no modern ringtone. That ain't no modern ringtone. That is like an old ass ringtone, and it's like sounds very, very generic to you. You just know when you hear that, you just know that is an old ass telephone. So they somehow have a rotary. I think it looked like a rotary dial one. I think it looked like it still somewhat had buttons, but I think I still saw like that dial plate on there. But I don't know. But it's still an old phone, so I'm going to say it's a rotary dial phone. And Lex had it too. So I think maybe that's some kind of personal connection, personal telephone line that he has to the DEO. So yeah, so that was a fun little tidbit. Winn was the one who created the AI code for his father too. So I think Winn's always been that kind of computer specialist type dude. He's always been that, even being the IT guy for Catgo. Back in season 1, we'd seen various episodes where he'd actually been where he'd written codes to help defeat the villains and stuff. And I think he defeated that one guy, that one villain. I don't know if it was a man or woman, but I think he defeated that one villain with the line like you're a glorified Windows Vista, which was like it instantly made me fall in love with him. He was just like not necessarily a character favorite, but he was just an amazing character after that. But he's always been that kind of guy to actually I just threw my pen. He's always been that kind of guy to use the tech and use his expertise and knowledge on tech to actually help save the day, whether it's using hardware or software or whatever. So finding out that he actually, when he was younger, he created the AI code for his father is interesting. And it was him trying to pursue his own hobby, but also try and create something his father could be proud of. And then when he was younger, he thought it was pride because his father was so interested and he wanted it all for himself. And then it wasn't until he grew up that he figured out, oh, it was greed because I created something that he couldn't have, that he didn't have, but he took one look at it and saw that it was useful and immediately wanted it. And even when he was arrested, he took the notebook with him, the notebook with all the codes. So, even when he was younger, just coming up with stuff using his own brain, his father was picking his brain through paper and ink. So, yeah, so it's good that he actually uses that code as well to take him out and to actually save the day once again. So, he's the computer lad, although now he's Toyman. So, that was cool. And Alex quits the DEO. Because working at the same place that Lex controls, pretty much, is just too straining on her mental health. She can't go in and smile even if it's pretend. She said so herself. So it's too much for her to be able to actually have to work for Lex and pretend that everything is okay, knowing that what he really is, and especially knowing that he remembers exactly what the past was like. He even mentioned that, I think you're thinking of a previous Earth, like a previous timeline even. This is a new world, there are new changes, so get with the times and get with the program, all that stuff. So she can't continue to work at the DEO under a man like that, with those kinds of motives. She has to change her path, so she's quitting the DEO. And she's going to be working at the Watchtower with Jean. That is something I really want to see. That's something I really want to see. I feel like she can really do a good job of actually working at the Watchtower and keeping things under control and under check there. So I don't know if she'll actually be going out in the field. Jean, the Watchtower thing, I don't know, I don't really know what Jean does. Because I think he's got the call signs and the buttons and the directives for all the Justice League members, but they haven't officially branded themselves as the Justice League. They haven't really come up with a team name yet. They just know that, now that they're all living together, they can be a team for once, finally. But I don't know. He said that this is still a place where they can operate for the greater good without any government oversight or jurisdiction. So I don't know if he still goes out fighting crime or what happens, or if he goes to Mars and fights crime or what happens there. But I think, but in that sense, I don't know if Alex is going to be going out in the field still, or if she's just going to be keeping stuff under control from the Watchtower, because she's good with computers herself. She's good with tech, so she could help. But I feel like from time to time, she might actually help out. But she's not going to be the director. She's not going to be at the DEO anymore. So, writing, scene-wise, it felt like a smaller thing than it actually was. I think, because when she started out as the director for the DEO, it felt like it was such a massive shift, like her actually taking over from John. And then initially when she started as well, she had such trouble keeping on track of things and actually making sure things were running safely and smoothly enough that it took a toll on her mental health. And she went to Jean and she confided in him, and she said, maybe you picked the wrong person, maybe I'm just not ready for this. And he had to comfort her and console her and assure her that she was ready for the job. And then over time, she fit into that role and she made that role her B word. But she eventually owned that role, and she did a great job as director, and now she's stepping down from it. I don't know. I feel like it is like that reveal itself was smaller than it actually, could have been and stuff. But like her actually stepping down as director, I feel like I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's going to be some kind of goodbye party for her from the employees at the DEO. Maybe there's going to be some kind of cake, or I don't know. Maybe not. But now Brainy is the new director, so he's taking over from her. I mean, well, yeah, he was dubbed director Docs by Lex, so Brainy is the new director. So how that's gonna go, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I mean, yeah, like he's now a being that operates solely on logic and not emotion. So I feel like he's going to be throwing out orders left and right, like 52% this, 72% that, 84% this. He's just going to be throwing out logic and percentages and statistics and orders left, right, and center. He's going to be like a fully juiced up kind of machine, pretty much. He's a techno-organic being, so it makes sense. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be a very, very like a bit more of a tone shift from that as well. Like he's going to be, like completing missions based on statistics and stuff, and well, I think, which isn't bad. Like I think he's not going to be emotionally compromised in any way, or at least he's going to try not to be. Because we've seen from time to time that there are still kind of emotionally compromised moments that he has, but he tries to get on top of them as best as possible. But it's gonna be interesting to see how director does it, how he does it. And as well as that, like the version of him that told him Lex, like the version of him that told him he has to work with Lex, Megan Rath's Docs, she was the director of her DEO too. She was the director too, so it's not like this one isn't the only one who manages to jump up into that promotion. But yeah, so Brainy is going to be Brainy and Supergirl are going to be the only ones left working at the DEO, and Jean and Alex are going to be at the Watchtower. So I'm super excited to see what Alex is going to be getting up to at the Watchtower. I'm super excited for that. But he did say that the logic that dictates Alex must leave is the same one that dictates that he must stay. So I think it's just like I think it's just more of him saying that in order for his plan to defeat Leviathan to work, he has to be still working with Lex, and it's not like he wants to, but he actually has to. So it's what he feels he has to do. So as soon as that is done, I don't know if he's gonna leave the DEO being like, yeah, we defeated Leviathan, and I really just don't like you, Lex. I've never have, and I never will. So peace out. I'm going to the Watchtower. Gonna hang out with my super fam and work with them for the rest of my years and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's going to go that way, maybe it's not. But right now, we have Alex stepping down and Brainy stepping up into the director seat. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But now with this one, I think, and again, with Supergirl, she goes to the DEO to work in the field. She doesn't really spend that much time at the main office anyway. So with that regard, and with Brainy being director, him being in charge of the majority of most of the DEO, he's gonna have that much more. He's gonna have that much less. Like, he's gonna be one person less, kind of crowding into his head and actually like just wondering what he's doing and why he's doing it. Like even with Alex, when she found out that he had actually overrided her spyware stuff, like she was like just wondering whether she could trust him or not, and just wondering why it happened and stuff. So it's gonna be very different. So we will see exactly what happens with that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have from this episode. Fun stuff with Winn, and he returns to his time, and fun stuff with most other people, just confusing stuff with others and worrying stuff with most others. But yeah, fun episode. So that is all I have from this one. So that was Supergirl, Season 5, Episode 12, titled Back from the Future Part 2. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment what you thought of the episode and what you thought of Winn's final kind of revelation and his kind of reclamation of his name, and Alex and Brainy and Lex and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.